Oh, good afternoon. It's been a while since I posted a video, and that's because um, everything is the same colour. I've been painting the Vietnamese, North Vietnamese figures. It's green, it's khaki, and it's not the most exciting colours to paint. But I finally finished today the final basing of two machine gun teams, and this is what I'll show you this later. I think it's about 120 figures I've painted now. The Viet Cong are by Gringos and the NVA are by Empress, and both manufacturers are quite a delight to paint, I must admit. The figures, the North Vietnamese have taken longer because they've got more equipment, but no, I'm glad to finish them. I will be getting some more because projects are never over, but I thought I just need a bit of a break from these, so finally done. And the funny thing is, I was talking to my friend Tony from down the club, and I said, look Tony, I've done about 120. He goes, that's okay, that'll go with my 150 that he's painted, so we've got more than enough to get going now. We lack Americans, but I think he's done quite a few. I think he's got a couple of platoons, so we just need to work out the rule sets we'll be using, and then work on the terrain. But I need a bit of a break from this, just a bit of a breather. Now I've been playing a few games recently. We had a big game of muskets and tomahawks down at my local club, and it was great fun. We used the first edition rules with some house rules that we came up with. We've amended the movement distances because we like to play on the big table, and that was great fun. And obviously when you come back from a club meeting such as that, you do enthuse, but I thought, no, I can't deviate too much with my plan, which changes, as you know, month by month. So we played muskets and tomahawks. Then my friend John came over and we played a game of Lion Rampant, which we videoed and I put up. I think that's the last video I put up, and that's my first battle report, and that was enjoyable, very enjoyable. It's a great set of rules, and you can get a game done in a couple of hours. I think we were playing quite a few points per side, but we started to get the hang of the rules, and it does move on fairly quickly. Being our first battle report, we had a few issues of the whole length of the filming took too long, so we had to break it down. It wouldn't upload, and my files weren't big. So all I've got is a tablet. I bought Joe a brand new laptop Christmas, and anything with technology, I'm at a loss really, being it. So the bulk of the game I just uploaded straight onto YouTube without any editing, and it took ages, but it came out. We were discussing it at the weekend. We'll do another one soon. We just change the camera angles around, and it's an evolving process. And I'd like to do more battle reports. And that said, anybody who would like to see any particular period or rule set, which I do have, we're always happy to take on board people's requests. The game on Sunday we played we got the 15mm Ancient Sounds, and we played To the Strongest, Macedonian, a generic Macedonian successor army against ancient Indians, and that was really good. We really enjoyed that. It's a cracking set of rules. I need to play it more, we need to play it more, and there's a lot of, it's a lot deeper than you think, the rule set, and it's really well thought out. People, I think Richard mentioned, he might have an issue with the grid system, but you don't see it. The battle mat I have has got the little crosses instead of the actual square boxes, and half the time you're looking where they are. And it flows so nicely. It's a good fun set of rules, and I say it's a deep set of rules, and there's things in there you think, oh, that's really well done. If you haven't played it and you have ancient or medieval armies, it's really worth a look at. The game took rather longer than we thought because we were a bit rusty. We say we haven't played it for a while, and it's the Indian Army. John was playing the Indians, and we both thought it's difficult to know how to play them because they have cavalry, chariots, elephants, and infantry. Now the cavalry are raw under the rule set, so they're not very good. So you don't want, as John did, put them all on the flank. It's a learning process for both of us, and we went through it at the end of the game. The coordination between the chariots and the elephants. It's a good army to learn. I think once mastered the army, very difficult to beat. I was surprised with the fragility of my pipe blocks. I think they look very menacing. The phalanx blocks, but once they're disorganised, they're beatable. But yes, again, we finished the game, packed up, and I thought, I've got to paint that extra phalanx. I've got another unit of 48 pike and some Greek hoplites. But no, because I made a purchase, and that purchase, we enjoy playing at the club Black Powder very much, and we're all taken with myself and Tony are very taken with the Peninsula campaign. And when I asked him how many British and Portuguese battalions he had, I think it numbers about 25 to 28 possibly. Same again with French. And so he played it a few times, and my Westphalians occasionally take part as part of the German division. But we do lack Spanish. And so I made a bit of a purchase, more of that in a moment. But when the end of the Vietnamese project was in sight, I fancy painting some Napoleonics. And so I ordered for my Westphalians a unit from front rank of Hussars, French Hussars, which I can paint up as Westphalian. And in my haste, as I normally do, I went and ordered the wrong figures. I ordered the late Napoleonic Hussars rather than the early, with a different Shako and Shako plate. So it took ages for the orders to come through. Now I know that Justin, the miniature painter, asked a question concerning front rank and what their turnaround time is like, and it's always been very good. Now since they've been taken over by Gripping Beast, it's my first order I've placed since, and it took about three and a half weeks, which is not a major concern because I have stuff to paint, but it's a lot longer than it used to be. And so thoughts on that if you've received stuff recently. But they came through, and so I bought the wrong uniforms, and so I thought to myself, well, I painted a French Hussar unit for, I don't know, let me think, the last time I painted a Napoleonic cavalry unit must have been at least 10 years ago, and I think the last French Hussar unit I painted was probably Airfix Hussars with the busbies cut off and the French line Shako put on them, and so you're going back, well, it's probably 17, which is probably 40 years ago. So I thought I'd go for a French unit, and I've chosen the 7th Hussars, and they have the green Shako and dolman and red trousers, so it'll be a nice colourful unit. And the good thing about Black Powder is I find that the cavalry units are only 12 strong, whereas if I was painting and playing Grand Manor, you'd be doubling that to 24s. So 12 cavalry are definitely doable, and Hussars obviously can be a bit of a pain, but I'm looking forward to painting those nice and bright. Yeah, so that's that. And so what I did, I was waiting for so long, I thought, I might as well order some Spanish from Perry. And so I received these today, and I thought I'd just do a brigade of Spanish for Black Powder, which would be 4 battalions, battery of guns, and some skirmishers, and a command set. So what I did, I've been looking at the Spanish organisations, and I do believe, and tell me if I'm wrong, that the regiments were made up of 3 battalions. The 2nd and 3rd battalions were all Fusilier, where the 1st battalion of the regiment had a couple of grenadier companies. So I've gone for 2, two Fusilier, white clothing, white cloth, and not too sure the colours yet. And I've had a look at these, and these are absolutely lovely. Again, more of this later in greater depth. I was surprised how good these were. Still come with that in the boxes, which is a bit of a bugbear. But that's that. So it's all going to be a bit colourful the next couple of months, painting these up. I can't wait. And so they're, say, primarily white, so it'll be a white undercoat, and I'll paint them up the same as I painted my white uniformed Westphalians. The only thing is I can't remember how I did it. It looked quite effective, but the trial and error, white undercoat, and we'll take it from there. Right, so that's that. And to round it off, I've been thinking about streamlining my collection. I had a word with Leon the other day, who you know, and I think about offloading my Viking army. I'll leave a link to it below, purely because I don't have the time to play with all my armies. And rather than sell it, I was wondering if there's anybody out there who would like to swap it for a 28mm Confederate army, American Civil War, say 28mm, preferably metal, and I'll just see what the response is. My Viking army is quite a large army, well painted. Labour of Love it was for a while, but I just haven't used it. I think I might have used it 3 times, and it's all geared up for Hail Caesar or to the strongest. And when you play to the strongest, using the Vikings who oppose their enemy, and that is the Norman army I have, you're just replicating my Romans and Dacians. And so, yes, anybody interested, contact me on Facebook. Ideally, you'd be swapping for you'd have a large army as well. So I don't want to sell it because I've still got to paint paint the Confederates, and I'd like to have a Confederate army. I've sold one already. I sold 2, so I can play in the man cave rather than use my friend Tony's. And also, obviously, my concern is with the Vikings. There's a lot of spears, shields, and swords, and sending it in the post. I get concerned about that. But I'm sure we can work something out. But obviously, it's inevitable something will get broken. But we'll see how we get on with that. So that's it, really. That's the update. I'll do a separate video with the Vietnamese figures. I'm enjoying everybody's updates there. They're providing us all. It's a great community, and you can't help but get enthused about what other people do. And so it's Napoleonics next. Who would have thought after all these years? Yes, shall I try and put that video on the back of this one? Now that sounds a bit complicated. Start doing that, I'll have to start putting a Patreon account out there so you can all give me money so I can give it back to you. Give me the money so I can help you with your hobby. Tosh. Thanks for watching.